Welcome back, guys. Today I thought I'd talk a little bit about Debian and just in general. On my two computers, I have one computer upstairs and the main computer is downstairs. Then I have an iMac where I'm running the new El Capitan OS 10, and on the two PCs, I also have Windows 10 installed. I upgraded from Windows 7, and also, as you know, I have a Chromebook, and I usually change the distribution a little more often on that because I'm always looking to try something new to see if it works and see if everything configures properly. But in this case, on this particular computer right now, this is the upstairs computer, and I simplified my systems a little bit. On each computer, I'm running an Arch-based distribution, a Debian distribution, and an Ubuntu distribution. Currently, on the main computer, I have Arch, actually Manjaro XFCE as the Arch distribution. Then I have Linux Lite as the Ubuntu distribution, and Debian Testing as the Debian distribution. All three operating very nicely. Now this is the upstairs computer, and I have Peppermint 6 as the Ubuntu distribution. I have Midfinger's Arch install as the Arch-based distribution, and I was tinkering a little bit with the Debian distribution. Now, I installed Point Linux, which is Debian stable, and Point Linux runs fine. I was looking for a little bit for a distribution that would give me Debian testing. And the only reason I usually run Debian testing, if possible, is because it gives me access to some more distributions and later versions of those distributions. So it makes my install a little bit easier, getting it tweaked the way I want it. Now, with Debian testing, I noticed that SolydX stated that it gave you a choice of stable or testing. Now, when I installed it, it did not give me that choice. And so let's just take a quick look. If I go to the welcome screen, the first screen that comes up gives you a little bit of an update on SolidX, some support links and information on software. Then it speaks about hardware drivers. Now, I do have NVIDIA on this computer, and it did identify the proper card and give me the option to install the drivers, and it worked fine. I actually installed it downstairs on the main computer, which has Broadcom drivers, Broadcom Wi-Fi, and so when I went to the driver manager, I expected that it would pick up NVIDIA and Broadcom, but it only picked up NVIDIA. I had to install Broadcom manually. So for some reason, the driver manager on my particular computer did not pick up Broadcom, did not give me the option to automatically install the drivers. I had to install the drivers myself, which is no big deal, but it stated that Broadcom would be available to install through the driver manager, and on my particular system it did not. So on this particular computer, I did install NVIDIA drivers and it worked fine. So you've got some multimedia codecs, LibreOffice, gives you the option of installing business applications, and you have the option of installing GIMP, Inkscape, Shotwell, Digicam, Clementine, Handbrake, Sound Converter, Kdenlive, Transmission. And all you have to do is click install right here and it automatically goes through the installation process. It gives you the option for gparted, VirtualBox, and FileZilla. I don't really have a need for VirtualBox or FileZilla. I like to do all the installs on hardware, that way I can review them as they would be installed by the user. Gparted, though, is something I typically always install. And I don't know if you heard that. I'm going through an update on my iMac for El Capitan, so it's rebooting. And that was the little Apple chime. So for games, it gives you the option of installing Steam, Mindtest, OAD, and various games. Now, I don't have any need for any of these except for Steam, so I'll install that myself separately. And it says, as it says here, you can use the software manager to install them separately, and that's what I will do. It comes with Play on Linux. I tried using it. It does work. I tried using it to install Hearthstone, which is the Battle.net game, and for some reason, evidently, Flash Player has updated the version without Play on Linux catching up to it. So for example, what happens is when you try to install Hearthstone through Play on Linux, and this is not only for SolydX, this is happening on every Linux distribution I've tried. The version of Flash Player doesn't match what Play on Linux is expecting, and so it gives you a mismatch on the checksum. It gives you a mismatch and it won't let you install it. So currently, Play on Linux will not install Battle.net, at least on the two computers that I've tried. And as I said, it's not an issue with the Debian distribution or the Linux distribution. It's an issue between Play on Linux and Flash Player. So that's the SolydX situation. Now, when I went ahead and decided to use the driver manager, it gave me the 340.65. Now, because SolydX gives you the option, or is supposed to give you the option, of going for either stable or testing, I looked for that option, couldn't find it, was not offered the option during the install. So I went to the website, and let's take a look. I couldn't find anything on the website, and I guess what's happening is it used to give you the option which was for testing, which was called the Enthusiast Edition, and it no longer does that. But I did a little digging in the forum, and there's some information on the sources list changes that you would have to implement in order to convert to testing. Now, I did this. I pulled up my sources list and I added the testing repos, and it actually broke the system where I had to reinstall the entire SolydX system. So I'm not going to do that again. And so, at least in my experience, SolidX really, I was not able to get it to testing. So I'm running it in stable. So SolidX is a solid Debian distribution running XFCE. I do like the graphics. The icon theme is very nice. I believe it's called Evolvere, and I will look that up. But let me get into the appearance. And the icon is Evolvere Vivid Sunken. That's what this. Well, you've got. It gives you several different options, black folders, various things. But this is the default out of the box. Evolvere Vivid Sunken, and then for style, Graybird SolidX. It's very nice theme, very nice icon package. I really like the icon package. I think it looks nice and clean and professional. So I actually went online and I was able to download the icon package and save it so that I could use it on any Linux distribution that I wanted to. I went ahead and installed VocoScreen, which is how I'm doing this video. Working fine, no problems at all. So SolidX right out of the box is fine. I would not change the repos to the testing version because, as I said, it broke my system and I had to do a reinstall. Everything else seems to be working fine. So for Debian distributions, at least in my experience, the ones that I prefer in no particular order would be Point Linux, SolidX, the Debian testing distribution right from Debian.org. I think it's a .org. Linux Mint Debian Edition also works fine. But the one I'm waiting for, and I'm hoping, I was told that they were shooting for a final version before Christmas. And so the Debian distribution that I am waiting for, and I'm really looking forward to installing it, is the MX15. And I like MX15 because right now the stable version of that is the MX14, but I like the MX flavor of Debian because they have installed several different MX proprietary packages that just really help you configure your system so that it runs really solid, and I like the look of it. They just do such a fine job. And so I'm waiting for MX15 to come out in the final version. I tested the beta 2, which is available right now, and I ran into a few bugs, so I decided to replace it until they come out with the stable version, the final release candidate. So, guys, that is it for this video. I just wanted to go through a little bit of Debian information with you. But as I said, SolidX is a fine Debian distribution. As long as you don't try to upgrade to testing, it'll run rock solid for you. So, guys, thank you for stopping by. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you soon. Take care.